Hi students, I'm the instructor for English 110 and Lit 116. You can call me Anna because I've had a name change after getting married, and so there's a lot of confusion about my last name and also how it's pronounced. So you can just call me Anna. I have a couple of reminders I want to give to you. This applies to both classes, and then I'm going to show you some things on the screen. So the first thing I want to let you know is that you need to log in and do some work within the first 3 days of classes beginning, or you are dropped and waitlist students are put in. That is a college-wide policy. It's not my policy. It's because the waitlists are so big that if you don't log in and do some work in 3 days, then you'll lose your place. The other thing I would like to remind you of, for both classes, I do not accept late work of any kind at any time. And that means even 1 minute late is late. So please start your work well in advance so that it's not late. If you're running out of time, it's better to send something half done than to turn it in late, because you can't get any credit if you turn things in late. This class is supposed to take the place of a traditional face-to-face class. So what that means is the homework is designed to take you all week long. So if you try to do it an hour before it's due, you will go insane. So I recommend carving out a little bit of time every day for this class, or at least 3 times a week. That helps you also log in and see if there's any changes to the curriculum, because I would tell you that via email. That brings me to email itself. Can you please email me at smccd.edu, and that is just my last name, ERWERTA @smccd.edu. That's the only email you should email me at, and you should use your SMCCD email to email me. That way we don't ever have any problems with communication. When you email me, please put your full name in the email, because even though you think I should be able to tell by your last name and the first initial, some students have the same last name and the same first initial. So please put your full name and also your class, so either English 110 or Lit 116, somewhere in the email. And the last thing about emails is please don't send attachments. You can attach as well if you're worried about formatting, but just cut and paste into an email message, and that way we don't have to worry about an attachment not coming through, because they often don't. Okay? So those are basics for the class, either class. So moving along, we're gonna talk about how the class actually looks. When you look at Skyline's website, if you're looking for your link to get into the class, you click distance education, and that will take you to different kinds of modalities that are offered at Skyline. What you want is the web access login. So you would click that, and it will take you to the page where you log in. Your screen will look like this, and you don't have to worry about clicking Skyline or College Assemblée or whatever. It already knows what college you're in. Your G number is obviously specific to you, and then your password will default to your 6-digit birth date. So for example, if your birth date is May 5th, it would be 0505, and then it would be the last 2 digits of the year. So 050580 if you were born on May 5th, 1980. I'm gonna go ahead and log in. If you're in the class officially, you can log in right now and you'll be able to get into my class. If you're on the wait list, you will not be able to log in until I give you an ad code, which we will handle at the end of this orientation. Okay, when you get on the main page, I'd like to draw your attention to the support center. You see that question mark on the screen? There's several links there for help. I'm actually not a computer genius. I'm only an English genius, if that. So if you have any troubles, you gotta get in touch with the help center. They can help you with anything going on technically with your computer. In the menu on the left, you'll see choices of classes. So depending on which class we're talking about, you would click that link. I'm gonna start with English 110, okay? And then I'll get to the literature one. Basically, it's all the same stuff. There's only a couple of specifics that we need to go over. The class's theme is art and protest, so we will be looking at visual art, film, literature, and music, all related to authors and artists trying to make the world a better place. The course is laid out by a week, and the entire semester is here. I have created a course calendar at the very top. So if you look at the very, very top, you'll see a couple of links underneath the book list. And one of those links is the semester assignment calendar at a glance. If you open that up, you will see this is everything that's due every week all through the semester. So you don't have to ever wonder what's due and when. And I would print this out and put it to the side of my computer so I don't have to be logged in to have reminders, because this is the sort of class where there are no reminders. There's no teacher to like shake you and say you should start your homework. So this is very important for you to have as a resource. Other thing that's up there is the syllabus. I have to ask you to read it. It is a legal contract, so you are responsible for anything that it says in there. So make sure you read it closely so that you are actually agreeing to things that you do agree to. Also, all my policies such as revision, late work, etc. are in that syllabus. So you want to take some time to look that over. Another thing you want to know is that you do have to read the course reader, which is required. You have to read In the Lake of the Woods, which is required. But your third book is a choice, and it's a graphic novel, which looks like a comic book to people who haven't seen them before, but they are actually novels. They have a lot of art in them, and it's a nice marriage of writing as an art and visual art as an art. You get to pick one from that list, but how it works is you send me your top 3 choices, and I will put you in a group around one of those books. All the information is on the website. You just have to read it over, but I want to make sure that you don't buy all those books because you only actually have to read one. Okay? When you're going through the class every week, like I said, is already developed for you. Please read the homework week 1 file first, or if you're in week 2, read the homework week 2 file first, because it will explain all the other links that are underneath. If you start with these other links and you don't read the homework file first, you won't understand what they're for. So read that one first, and then all of these will make sense. Typical assignment for me is a study guide. It basically has a lot of questions to make sure that you have read and understood the material. They're not easy questions that you can find by looking in the text. You'd have to really think about them and apply critical thinking, which is a major skill we're trying to develop for this class. Another assignment type is a forum. The first one we have is in week 2, where I ask you to introduce yourselves. Forum is that little icon that looks like 2 people talking to each other. To post to a forum, you just open it up, you read it, and when you're ready to say something, you click add a new discussion topic. Okay, this also applies to Literature 116. It's the same for both classes. So those people that are watching this orientation for the literature course, this is not a waste of your time because it's the same. Okay, so when you're ready to post something, you just go ahead and you have to put a subject in there. It won't let you post. And I'm just going to put test because I'm not doing it for real right now. I want to point out to you that you can spell check your posting, which is a good idea since you want to get the maximum number of points possible. So you want to have your posting be perfect. You can add a picture, you can make it bold, you can add hyperlink, you can color the text. You can do a lot of the things that you can do in word processing right here. So make sure you make full use of those things so that your post is as good as it can be. When you're ready, post to the forum. And another thing that I ask you to do a lot is reply to your classmates. So how you do that is you read someone's post, and when you're ready to write back to them, you simply click reply, and then you write whatever you want to write, okay? Make sure again that you spell check and grammar check and that you've answered everything that I've asked you to answer, and then post to the forum. Once it's posted to the forum, you cannot edit it. So you want to make sure, I can because I'm a teacher, but you can't. So you want to make sure you take some time on it before. It's a good idea to actually do longer posts in word processing first and then cut and paste them. That way it doesn't crash on you or any of the other things that go wrong with computers. And we all know that can happen a lot. Okay, and then for English 110, you have several essays to write. I'm only going to show you one for purposes of this orientation because they're all pretty much the same. All the essays that I make you do, all the essays you have to do require that you submit your draft to Turnitin. The directions are there. It's just to make sure you haven't plagiarized. I hope that you won't. I do catch a lot of people doing that. I hope that you will not make that mistake because I have to turn you into the dean if you do it. After you have made sure that your paper doesn't have any copying in it, or not too much copying, then you can go ahead and read all the other directions. All my papers require an outline. You do that first, you get feedback from me. Then you do a draft, you get feedback from me. You have a chance to revise the draft, and then you do peer review. Peer review requires you to read each other's papers. That isn't as embarrassing as it is in a face-to-face class because you can't see each other, but we still want to do our best work there and be kind to each other. I provide a peer review form that gives you directions. Then you have another chance to revise, and then you post your final draft. I always put a lot of tips, and I notice that students sometimes don't read them. I would ask you to read those tips because it would save you a lot of revising if you just simply read the tips, because they really help cut out a lot of the common mistakes that students make. If you have trouble with grammar, you should definitely think about going to the tutoring center. It's free and I give extra credit for it, but this class does not teach grammar per se. It is an upper division course, so you're expected to know grammar. So if you have trouble with that, you really need to take it upon yourself to get some help. After all, you are in college, and what better time to do it than now. You have 4 papers. They're based around the readings, and then the final paper is kind of a wrap-up of the class. As I said, all the assignments are here, so you read it through and you'll know what this class entails. You're always welcome to do work early, but you cannot do work late, okay? Then I'm really quick just going to take you over to Literature 116 because there's just a couple differences, but it's basically very much the same thing. Okay, Lit 116 is Intro to World Literature. Just like English 110, you have a choice for your novel. The novel list is here, and the directions for picking your 3 novels are there, and then you will get one of your novels. So don't buy the novel until you are assigned to it. If you go to the bookstore, you'll see like 20 books. Don't buy them all. You do need to buy the reader for the course though, okay? This class basically surveys each continent except for Australia and Antarctica. It's simply not time in the world to do all the continents and do it justice. Just like the other class, all the assignments are laid out. The entire semester is here, broken down by week. And you will see, just like the other class, that you have a semester calendar at the very top. Underneath the syllabus, underneath the book list, there's a semester calendar. Please print it out and put it to the side of your computer. Also, just like the other class, this is a lot of homework. It's not intended to be done in an hour. It's intended to be done over a whole week, okay? The final thing I want to make sure that everyone knows, and this is for both classes, is that, I don't remember what I was going to say, so it must not be that important. Oh, quoting. You guys will have to quote your sources, and it's a really, really hard thing for people to learn to punctuate them correctly. So I have put these links, and this is for both classes, about how to quote. And I think it'd be really helpful for you if you did this early, because it would save you losing a ton of points as you go along. How you get the maximum points is you would have a perfect paper with no grammar and no spelling mistakes. And it was quality answers. I'm not interested in really long answers. I'm interested in really thoughtful answers. And I think at this point in our college careers, we know the difference between something that someone has tried on and something that's very half-ass. So just try and I'll know that you've tried, okay? I think this is basically all you need to know, except that since we're doing this orientation on video, you're probably gonna have other questions. Please feel free to email me and if you have questions. If you're trying to add, you can also email me and I will let you know if I can add you, and I will give you an ad code at that time. After you get your ad code, you can register and then you'll be able to get into the course. If I think of anything that I've forgotten, I will send it to the students that are registered via email. That is how I will get in touch with you from now on, so please check your SMCCD email regularly. Okay, I hope that you guys enjoy the class and have a great semester.